Good morning everyone. This is SK Jha welcoming everyone on ICRA's platform. Firstly, lots of thanks to in fact everyone who participated in our crash course program, both in English medium as well as Hindi medium. Response was tremendous, and the best part was कि after batches were over, huge demand for foundation course. So, keeping in mind your requirement, we have taken up this challenge, and very soon we are going to launch our foundation batch, pre-commence batch for 2021. Prelims examination, 27th of June. So, our batches, they are going to start from, classes will start from 9th of October, 9th of October 2020, but the inaugural class will be taking place on the very precious day on the 2nd of October, 2nd of October, and from 9th of October your regular classes they are going to be held. Per day your lecture will be of 2.5 to 3.5 hours, and gradually maybe later on the duration of the class may be increased depending on the requirement. Now, registration is open, and registration date, last date is 1st of October. Since we have received massive inquiries and registration process is on, seats are limited. So, you people, those people who are interested to avail the huge discount that is totally reflected through our website. So, we are providing initial or inaugural discount to many people, and that is only up to 1st of October. After that, no discount will be there, and we are hoping that like the previous batch, because in case of English medium batch, more than 3,000 students they participated. In Hindi batch, since we got some late, so there also response was very good, and more than 1,000 students they enrolled for this course, and yes, response was tremendous. Initially, we have decided to start with English medium batch. So, this will be our English medium batch. Regarding Hindi medium batch, we are deciding, and it will be notified later on. Now, course duration will be in between 8 to 10 months, and it will be a complete package that will be consisting of all the 4 papers of GS along with essay, along with question answer, maybe test series. So, you will get the complete package here, and that too of the highest quality. I am dividing Indian economy into 2 parts. First is urban area, and the second is rural area. So, infrastructure gap is there in between these two. We will have to discuss some figures. Till today, you can see 1/3, 2/3 of the population it is still living in the rural area, and 1/3 in urban area. Fine population. So, approximately in between 67 to 68% of Indian population they are in the rural area, and 1/3 approximately they are in the urban area. Now, economic activities they are conducted under 3 sectors. Primary sector, economic activities, production means income, income means expenditure. So, primary sector, secondary and tertiary. Primary sector mainly dominated by agriculture, then secondary where with the help of man-made machinery we are doing production, so yes, industry, and the third is called tertiary where production of services they take place. So, primary, secondary and tertiary. Okay. Now, rural area is totally dominated by primary sector, and yes, mainly agriculture. 70% of rural population is still depending on agriculture. Now, secondary and tertiary sector, they are basically operating mostly in the urban area, means industry secondary, and the third is called tertiary service sector. So 2 out of 3 sectors, they are dominating the urban area and rural area where 1/3 of the population is there. Okay, only one sector is dominating. So we have failed to promote the concept of industrialization in the urban rural area. Okay, now another word that is called workforce. That is called workforce. So firstly we will discuss the problems of rural area, and from here a number of questions are coming, and all the time Government of India is coming out with a new set of policies. So rural area is totally dominated by agriculture, and our agriculture is totally depending on monsoon. So coming back to now, the concept of workforce. Now population will include everyone, and right now population of India is approximately 135 crores, but that will include everyone, and everyone cannot work. So we are concerned with those people who are coming in the workforce. It means in between the age gap of 15 to 59. Now this figure is very confusing, because even in the official document of the government, this is the age group 15 to 59. But if you see the last year's budget, the data, the range has been mentioned 15 to 65. So lots of confusion is there on the part of the government. So let us go for 15 to 59. So those people who belong to this age group, they are called workforce. It means they can work. Okay. Now in the primary sector, in the rural area, 49 or simply 46% of the workforce, they are engaged. Primary sector where most of the people are still depending on agriculture. So 46% of the workforce means those people who can work, they are depending. Do you think our agriculture requires that much of workforce? No, because this 46% is a very, very high. Now in the recent times it has come down. In 1951 when we started our first 5-year plan, so this figure was 72%. Now it has come down to 46%. It's still very, very high. 46%, it means if the 100 people are working in India, 46 they are working in the primary sector depending on agriculture. Now this figure is very, very high. If we compare our figure with those of the developed country, see the case of USA. In USA, only 3% of the workforce, they are engaged in agriculture. In Japan, it's only 2%, only 2%. So basically, they have successfully went for mechanization of agriculture, or in layman term, industrialization of agriculture. So they are using latest technology in their agriculture. We cannot compare ourselves with those countries, but still it's a very, very high. It's a very, very high. Now, because the pressure of workforce on agricultural land is a very high, in the rural area we can find a very unique type of unemployment that is called disguised unemployment. That is called disguised unemployment. See the concept of disguised unemployment. Disguised, it can be called छुपी हुई बेरोजगारी, disguised. So in the rural area, very unique unemployment you can say, that is called disguised. Disguised unemployment. It means people are working but still they are unemployed. People are working, they feel that they are working but still they are unemployed. Now you will be called employed when there is some contribution on your part towards production. If your contribution in total production is nothing, although you may be working, but if your contribution in total production is nothing or zero, you will be called unemployed. So what is happening in the rural area? Now concept of joint family you can see in the rural area, and the family is holding a small piece of land, and every adult member is engaged working on that agricultural land. So basically we need 4 people, but 7 people are working on that agriculture field. So we need 4 people, but 7 people they are working. So it means if we take out 3 people, 3 workers from that agriculture field, so total output is not going to change. It is going to remain the same. It means, see the lines again. We need 4 people. We need 4 people, but 7 people they are engaged, or they are working on that agriculture field. So if we take out 3 people out of that agriculture land, the total output is going to remain the same. So question is, what is the contribution of these three people in total production? 0. So they are working, they feel that they are farmers, they are working, but technically they are unemployed, because in total production their contribution is 0, and this is very common in case of rural economy, particularly agriculture. So this unemployment is called disguised unemployment, छुपी हुई बेरोजगारी, कि people are working but still they are unemployed, because to be called employed you must contribute something towards production. So rural area is facing the problem of disguised unemployment, because pressure of or burden of workforce on agricultural land is very high. Still it is 46%. Okay, so the problem faced by rural area regarding unemployment, this is called disguised unemployment. Now come to urban area. Now in urban area, only 1/3 of the population they live, and moreover, out of 3 sectors, 2 sectors are operating. Okay, urban area. So only 1/3 of the population, and moreover, 2 sectors are operating: secondary and tertiary. Okay, secondary and tertiary. Okay. So from this, it seems the situation prevailing in the urban area, it may be good, and there will be no unemployment in the urban area, because see the figure. In the urban area, population burden is less, 1/3 only, 1/3 of the total population, and moreover, 2 sectors are operating, so secondary and tertiary. But still, in the urban area also we can see unemployment, but that unemployment cannot be called disguised unemployment. That unemployment is called open unemployment. That is called open unemployment. Open employment. It means you are looking for job, but there is no job, or maybe underemployment. You are looking a job of 8 hours, but hardly you are working for 4 hours. So that is called underemployment. But the urban area is facing the problem of open unemployment, despite population is only 1/3 of the total India, and moreover, 2 of the sectors they are operating in the urban area. Then what went wrong with the urban area? Why in urban area opportunity could not be created? So because of some reason. See the reason. Now secondary sector and tertiary sector. Now these two basically they are using, particularly service sector. So they are using capital intensive technology. There are 2 types of technology. First is called labor intensive, and second is called capital intensive. Labor intensive and capital intensive. So 2 types of technology can be used. Labor intensive, and the second is called capital intensive. Capital intensive technology. Intensive. Now see the difference between these two. Labor intensive technology means more labor and less capital. Capital you can treat as machinery, or you can say. So here we need more labor and less capital. But when we apply capital intensive technology, it means more machinery and less labor. So where is the opportunity to create job? So when we apply labor intensive technology, because labor intensive technology requires more labor and capital intensive technology requires less labor. India is a growing country, and population of India is growing at a very high rate. So to absorb more and more people, to provide Indian people jobs, what is needed? We need labor intensive technology, because capital intensive technology they need more machinery. Labor is being replaced by machinery. So when labor is replaced by the machinery, production may be increasing, but that basically is going to fail, cannot generate employment. So now this is the problem. Now secondary versus tertiary. In between these two, these two are using capital intensive technology, and particularly service sector. And moreover, their capital intensity is increasing all the time. It means production is increasing, no issue, but they have failed to create job. Now service sector particularly, let me discuss. Service sector is more capital intensive than secondary, means the industry. And service sector, it has become driver of growth. Okay. Since 1991, when India went for reform, okay, what we can see, service sector that was almost missing, okay, prior to 91, but after 1991 new economic policy, service sector exploded and became driver of the country. Now in India, growth rate, except for the last 1.5 year, okay, growth rate of India is very good, okay, more than satisfactory. But okay, credit goes to service sector, because till today performance of two sectors, primary and secondary, it is not up to the mark. But still India's growth rate is very good. So that growth is basically mainly because of service sector. But okay, so service sector has become driver of growth. Later on, when will we discuss, okay, all the data released by the government is telling the same story. Right now, contribution of service sector in total GDP is 54%. 54%. It means, okay, 54% of the total production in India is taking place in the service sector, and this contribution increasing. So what we can say, despite two sectors are not doing well, primary and secondary, still growth rate of India is more than satisfactory. So it's mainly because of service sector. I repeat again, for the last few years, service sector India, it has totally exploded and became the driver. Doesn't matter whosoever is the driver. Driver may be primary sector, because production has to be there, and the basic policy is the same, to move the country forward by increasing production. Okay, so production is taking place whether it's a primary sector, secondary or tertiary. So regarding growth, doesn't matter, country is definitely going to move forward. But the problem with the service sector is basically capital intensive, and its capital intensity is increasing all the time. I would like to give you one example. Mobile tower, okay, one mobile tower is there, and yes, okay, it is covering area of basically 3 kilometers, means the radius is 3 kilometers. So in the radius of 3 kilometers, this alone mobile tower is doing production. Now you know India is a highly densely populated country. So in the radius of 3 kilometers, okay, how many people are using mobile phone? So there are so many. In India nowadays, okay, everyone is using mobile phone, and that too a smartphone. So in the radius of, I assume that one mobile tower is there, and it is basically providing services in the radius of 3 kilometers. So it is covering, okay, the radius of 3 kilometers. So in the radius of 3 kilometers, how many people they are using mobile? Okay, so let us make some figure. Okay, maybe 1 lakh people. Okay, so 1 lakh people they are using a smartphone, and every person is consuming 1 lakh people they are using mobile phone, and per day data consumption is rupees 20. Data consumption is rupees 20. So per individual or per person, this is per day data consumption. It means, okay, what is the total production, okay, of this mobile tower for 1 day? So this will come to rupees 20 lakh. So this mobile tower alone is doing production of services worth rupees 20 lakh per day. So for 1 day, production is of rupees 20 lakh. For the whole month, it will come around, I hope 6 crores. For the whole year, so it will come to around 72 crores. Okay. See the example. This mobile tower alone, okay, during the entire year, it is doing production of services worth 72 crores. It's a very big amount. But how many people, okay, they have been given jobs because of this mobile tower? Do you think production is very high? Okay, per annum, this single mobile tower is doing production worth rupees 72 crore. But how many people they got the job? Okay, only one, the caretaker basically. Okay, so this is the problem. Production is very high, but it has failed to create job. You know better. Okay, technology is changing all the time. Tomorrow, because of technological upgradation, what will happen? A part of mobile tower will be changed, and after that, what will happen? Instead of 3 kilometers, it will have a radius of 5 kilometers. So production will increase further, but it will fail to create the job. So this is the problem, okay, with India. Maybe possible in the future, a single mobile tower is going to cover the entire city. So then production will be very, very high, but it will fail to create job. And this situation right now we are facing. Because in India, right now the driver of the country is service sector. So service sector, okay, massive production, contribution of service sector in total GDP is 54%. Service sector prior to 91, it was almost missing, but suddenly after 91 new economic policy, I will discuss these things later on. So after 91 new economic policy, service sector performed very well, and it simply exploded and became driver of the country. This growth that is very high in India is mainly because of service sector. Despite two sectors are not doing well, I repeat again, primary and secondary, but still Indian growth rate is because of service sector, because it's very high. Okay, so does it make any difference? Okay. Does it make any difference? Okay. Yes. Now, since service sector is dominating, and the service sector is using capital intensive technology, and moreover, its capital intensity is increasing. It is going to increase in the future as well. So production and the growth may be very, very high, but it will fail to create employment. And this is the situation India is facing. India is facing the situation of jobless growth. Okay. Growth is there, but without any job. So this situation we are facing. So this situation is called jobless growth. Growth is very high, but it has failed to create job. And that's why we people criticize the government. You claim that growth rate is very high, but where is the job? Recently, you can see the youngsters, the unemployed people, they went against the government, and they are now demanding jobs from the government. But for the government, it is not possible to provide jobs to everyone. Reason being, service sector is dominating. Okay, so jobless growth. Growth is there, but this is because of no job is created. Now, we people, we need growth with job. Okay, let me discuss. This jobless growth, this question has come thrice. In the last 7 years, thrice, last 5 years, I hope, thrice this question was asked in mains. Twice in the mains GS paper 3 and once in the essay paper. Right now, India is facing the situation of jobless growth. Growth is there, but there is no job. So what is the main reason? Other reasons we will discuss when we start the topic. So the main reason, just note down, main reason is in India growth rate is very high. It's mainly because of service sector. Despite two sectors are not doing well, still growth rate of India is very, very satisfactory. The credit goes to service sector. Service sector is leading from the front. Service sector has become the driver of the country, and massive production is taking place. Contribution of service sector in total GDP, it is 54%, more than the contribution of primary and secondary sector combined together. And this percentage is increasing all the time. So production is very high, growth is very high, but the problem is this growth has failed to create job. So that's why we are facing the situation of jobless growth. And as technology is going to increase, this problem is going to be more severe. Now there are two situations. One is called jobless growth, and second is called growth with job. There are two types of growth. First is without job, and second is, that is better, growth with job. We need that sort of growth which can create jobs for the people of India. So in between the first and second, you will prefer which one? So definitely everyone is going to prefer second one. You people, unemployment is very high. So every Indian will prefer this situation. Job, growth with job. We need that sort of growth which can create job for we people. But the problem is, till the service sector is going to be your driver, this is not possible. So what is needed? Growth, to move from jobless growth to the situation of growth with job. Yes, we will have to, the driver of the country is going to be secondary sector. Particularly manufacturing sector. Now, manufacturing sector is most capable of creating jobs basically. Yes, so we are trying to move from the situation of jobless growth to growth with job, and I repeat again, this is not possible till the driver of the country is going to be service sector. Okay, to move from situation 1 to situation 2, what is needed? The driver of the country has to be secondary sector, particularly manufacturing sector, where manufacturing sector is the most capable of creating job. And that's why the present policy of the government is what? Make in India. Start producing India. Let us make Indian economy manufacturing hub so that we can move from the situation of jobless growth to growth with job. And the remaining things I will discuss when I discuss the topic. I'm not discussing any topic. I'm just giving you overview. How to study basically. And it will be taking me at least 4 to 5 classes. After that, we will start the topic. I am going to open all the dimensions so that you can get the things very easily. Your understanding level is going to be very, very good. So this is the scenario. We have to move from the situation of jobless growth to growth with job. And that is possible only when the driver of the country is going to be secondary sector, particularly manufacturing. And that's why, because the manufacturing sector, I repeat again, is most capable of creating job. And that's why what the Prime Minister of India says, whatever you do, you do, but do in India, means make in India. So we have to make this Make in India very, very successful. Make in India program of the government, it came during 2014. But till today, it is a flop show. It is a flop show. Because when we analyze the data, see what exactly the government data is telling. 2014, when the concept of Make in India came, at that point of time, contribution of manufacturing sector in total GDP, it was 13 to 14%. In between 13 to 14%. Contribution of, in 2014, when the concept of Make in India came, contribution of manufacturing sector in total GDP, it was in between 13 to 14%. And at present, the current scenario is, it is still 13 to 14%. No change. No change. So this data suggests that Make in India till today, it is a flop show, and that's why some people say it is simply a slogan, not a strategy. That may be correct, that is correct in fact. It has always remained a slogan because the ground level reality, nothing is different from 2014 situation. But when we compare our manufacturing sector performance with other countries, take the case of China. China already is a manufacturing hub, it's a factory of the world, or factory for the world. In China, this contribution is, figure is in between 28 to 29%. So almost at its highest level. Even when we compare ourselves with country like Vietnam, country like Hong Kong, so their contribution, even Philippines, so their manufacturing sector contribution in the recent time in total GDP, it is increasing or it has increased. So they are performing better than we people. So what went wrong with the Make in India program? What are the major hurdles? What are the main obstacles? And how government of India is trying to solve this problem? So these things we will discuss when we discuss the syllabus. Anyway, so this is scenario. So right now the problem is in the urban area, although two sectors are operating, secondary and tertiary, but the problem is service sector particularly, these two sectors, secondary and tertiary, so they are using capital intensive technology, particularly service sector, and moreover their capital intensity is increasing. So production is increasing, growth may be high, but it has failed to create job, and this is the problem urban people are facing, open unemployment. You are looking for some job, but there is no job. So in the urban area, the nature of unemployment is totally different from those of rural area. In the rural area, the unemployment we have discussed is a disguised unemployment, and in the urban area, it is called open unemployment. So I hope now you people are comfortable. Now come to the major issue, jobless growth to growth with job. Now in the rural area, you can see 2/3 of population is living. Moreover, primary sector, it is dominating there, and even today 70% of the rural people, they are depending on agriculture. Now we have to focus this rural area in detail, and then a number of questions asked in mains as well as prelims you can easily solve, and whatever current measure they have been taken by the government, they can be very easily understood. Okay, coming back to now rural area. Now the problems of rural area, they are totally different, okay, from those of urban area, but there is a link between these two. Okay. Now the problems of urban area, whatever they are, they cannot be solved till we solve the problems of rural area. In the rural area, you know, agriculture is dominating, and Indian agriculture, okay, right now, okay, it is on ventilator. It is on ventilator. Since 1947, when we became independent, till today, right now we are facing the worst situation prevailing in the rural area, particularly agriculture, because the farmers, they are also producers. I repeat again, farmers, they are also producers, they are also doing production, they are also drivers. But what farmers can do? What farmers can do? Okay, if the monsoon is favorable, okay, sorry, monsoon is unfavorable, so farmers are going to suffer. Farmers are going to suffer. But if monsoon is favorable, okay, bumper crop, okay, then also farmers are going to suffer because of surplus. And because of surplus, what is happening? Okay, prices in the market, they fell to such a low level that farmers fail to recover their cost. Okay. So in a layman term, what we can say? Farmers are going to suffer whether, okay, if the monsoon is favorable or unfavorable. Because till today, more or less our agriculture is depending on monsoon. Okay. So if monsoon is unfavorable, farmers are going to suffer. Monsoon is favorable, farmers are going to suffer. Okay. So on both the account, it is the farmers who are going to suffer. Okay. I repeat again, if the monsoon is unfavorable, definitely, okay, farmers are going to suffer. No production or less production. But if monsoon is favorable, bumper crop, then why farmers they suffer? The reason is because of surplus generated in the rural area, particularly the food items. And because of surplus, prices fell to such a low level that farmers fail to recover their cost. Okay. So this is the problem, and because of that, in the rural area for the last 2 years, this we can see that farmers they are suffering on both accounts. Okay. And because of that, when rural area is going down, so consumption expenditure, you must be knowing what farmers are doing. Farmers doing, okay, after the harvesting, okay, they keep, okay, for their own use a part of the food grains or part of the crop, they keep for their own consumption, and the surplus they used to sell. And when, okay, they sell the surplus, then what they do? They demand, okay, for the products of secondary and tertiary. They demand the products of secondary and tertiary. Okay. Now, in the recent time, secondary urban area, secondary and tertiary sector, yes, industry and service sector, so they have started relying more and more on rural area for the demand of their product. Now in the urban area, two sectors are there, secondary and tertiary. Okay, see what is happening. Secondary and tertiary sector in the recent times, they have started, okay, depending more and more on the rural area, okay, for their demand for their product. Right now in India, one word is called, that is called consumerism. Consumerism, उपभोक्तावाद. Now what, okay, we can say that the urban market is gradually moving towards saturation. Urban market moving towards saturation, but the rural market is totally unexploited. And right now, okay, it is very, very surprising to know that 70% demand for their product is coming from, 70% demand of their product is coming from rural area. And in the rural area, people are generating income through agriculture. So if farmers, okay, they fail to generate income from agriculture, do you think, okay, these two sectors also, they will be hurt? Yes, this is happening in India for the last 1 or 2 years. Consumption expenditure of the rural people, it is reflected through budget. Okay, slow down of economy, leave the COVID-19. After that, okay, things have changed. But even before COVID-19, lack of demand, lack of consumption expenditure, mainly from rural area, It is reported in the budget as well, economic survey as well, that in the rural area or consumption expenditure of the rural people, it has come down. And because of that, okay, when rural income is coming down, definitely demand for these two sectors product is also going to come down. So India is still basically depending on agriculture. If agriculture sector is not doing well, it is going to pull down these two sectors as well. Okay. Now these two sectors, okay, right now they have started relying more and more on rural area. And in the rural area, the main source of income is agriculture. And agriculture, I said, it is on ventilator. Worst phase of Indian agriculture since independence. What farmers can do? If the monsoon is unfavorable, farmers are going to suffer. In monsoon is favorable, in that case also farmers are going to suffer. Farmers, they have failed to generate some income. So where is the remedy? Where is the remedy? And I repeat again, if agriculture sector is going to lag behind the remaining, it is going to pull down these two sectors as well. This is happening right now in Indian economy. Problem is there, okay, not with the urban market. Problem is there in the rural market, because rural people, their consumption expenditure has come down. Okay. And yes, okay, we will have to now go for some sort of reform. You can say making some big changes. So where is the remedy? Where is the remedy? Moreover, okay, in the rural area, okay, primary sector, mainly agriculture is dominating. So it is already facing the problem of unemployment, disguised unemployment. No other opportunity could be created in the last 70 years. So in search of job, what these people are doing? So they are migrating, they are moving to the urban area and creating more problems for themselves as well for the urban people. Because urban people or urban area is already facing the problem of unemployment, that is open unemployment. So problems of urban area cannot be solved till we solve the problems of rural area. I repeat again. Okay. Problems of urban area might be different in nature, but the problems of urban area cannot be solved till we solve the problems of rural area. Okay. Reason being, rural people in search of job, they migrate to urban area, okay, and creating massive migration, you can say, and particularly from those states where agriculture is very, very in a pathetic condition. Okay, so in the rural area, there is no other opportunity. In search of job, what these people are doing, they are moving to the urban area, and yes, when they migrate, they create more problems for themselves as well as, okay, for the urban people or so the urban area. Okay, this migration, what happened, okay, reverse migration during COVID. Okay, so it was very, very, okay, hurting to see how people, okay, they travel 1500 kilometers, maybe 1000 kilometers. Okay, so ultimately rural people, they are going to suffer. So where is the solution? Where is the solution? Because I have divided Indian economy into two parts, urban area and rural area. So I repeat again because I am going to start now. Okay, the problems of urban area, they cannot be solved till we solve the problems of rural area. And the problems of rural area, okay, will be found or has to be solved in the rural area only. Rural area. So rural economy of India, do you think it is capable enough, okay, to create employment and the income for the people? Yes. Our rural people, our rural area, rural economy is very, very productive. Very, very productive. Unfortunately, we have not worked on that. It's our failure. It's a failure on the part of the government. It's a failure on the part of the policy maker. Ki rural area means only agriculture. Okay. So where is the remedy? Where is the remedy? Okay. So apart from improving agriculture, because recently you have seen that I will discuss under agriculture topic. Recently government has passed the ordinance, and some bold steps and major steps they have been taken regarding marketing and distribution. So these things I will discuss. So few things are there, they are very, very good, interesting. So we are hoping in the future it will help the farmers, okay, because so that will be discussed separately. But coming to this, rural area means agriculture. This is the common thinking of Indian people. Okay. That is totally incorrect, totally incorrect. Our rural area is very, very powerful, very, very powerful, very, very productive. So apart from, okay, improving the agriculture, three very powerful measures can be taken by the government. Apart from agriculture, three very powerful measures can be taken by the government to improve the economic condition of the rural area, to create job opportunity and the incomes for the rural people apart from agriculture. So let us see now what are the three measures. These three measures we will have to take in the rural area. It's wrong to say that, okay, rural area means only agriculture. It's basically a lack of vision. We Indian people, we fail to understand the problems and the potentials of the rural people or rural economy. Our rural area is full of potential, full of potential. It is wrong to say that rural area means only agriculture. Yes, rural area means agriculture, but only agriculture, that is incorrect. Now, urban area, it has nothing, to be honest, nothing. So, let me now discuss three very powerful measures that can be taken to improve the economic condition of rural people and in fact rural area. So, what are those three measures? All these three measures, they are part of your syllabus, and every time one or two questions are coming in the mains. 2019, 2018, 2017, every year one question, and question is very common. So, three very powerful measures can be taken. So, let me now discuss one by one, and I will mention question as well. Three very powerful measures can be taken in the rural area, first, second and third. So, let us now start with the first one. Then we will move to second one and then third one. Then you will have a very good idea of your syllabus, how syllabus basically has been written and how the syllabus has been defined. There is a proper link. Now, first, very powerful. Now, it is wrong to say that rural area means only agriculture. Rural area is full of potential, and yes, other opportunities can be created. Other means other than agriculture, so that it can provide additional source of income to the farmers, and moreover, it can become a regular source of income for those people of the rural economy, they are non-farmer. So, first is, let us promote animal husbandry. This we can promote where? In the rural area. So, let us go for example, we can say dairy. So, where is the scope of promoting dairy? Rural area, urban area? Definitely rural people, rural area. Animal husbandry, animal husbandry, it has huge potential. So, let us make some example. The quality of cows in India is so different, so many cows are there, but high quality cows, एक गाय जो सबसे, so I don't have any idea. In fact, I am totally confused. Most of the students, they give their own data. So, cow of highest quality per day, what is going to be the milk production? So, maybe 20 kilogram. So, one cow, this figure may be high. If you find this figure very high, reduce the figure, that does not matter. It is a simply way of thinking. So, one cow is able to produce 20 kilogram per day, and if per liter, 20 not kilogram, it is a liter. So, one cow of highest quality, so per day it is providing 20 liters of milk. 20 liters of milk, and per liter if the rate is rupees 50. So, per day what is the value of the milk? It's 1,000. 1,000 per day. So, for the whole month it will come around rupees 30,000. So, 30,000 will be the value of the milk. So, deduct 50%, 15,000 for the maintenance and the expenditure on the cow. So, even your net income per month is 15,000. Net income per month is 15,000. So, one single cow is able to generate 15,000 rupees per month in the rural economy. And even today in the rural economy, 15,000 rupees per month is a good amount. It's a better to remain in the rural area, generate income instead of moving to the urban area, working in the industries for so many hours and getting exploited. So, from one cow, a monthly income of 15,000 can be generated. Moreover, other incomes from milk, you can produce milk product. Like desi ghee, like paneer, like XYZ. So, other milk can be converted into other form, and there also you can generate good income. Moreover, cow dung. Actually, one more thing. I told you the concept of consumerism. Demand for the secondary and tertiary sector is very high in the rural area, 70%. On the other side, products of rural area, they have massive demand. Their products, they have massive demand in the urban area. And urban people, they are ready to pay big money for the products of rural area, because till today we believe that rural area means purity. सुनते होगे गांव का घी है, देसी घी है. तो Indian people living in the urban area, so they are ready to pay good amount for the products of rural area. So producers are in the rural area, consumers are in the urban area. So first I discuss the case of milk. Milk may be milk product. Now come to cow dung. Cow dung. So cow dung can be used for biogas, you know. Moreover, cow dung cake. Cow dung cake. You know cow dung cake. In different states, they are known by different name. In some state, it is called Hindi mein uple. Some state, it is called kande. In Bihar, it is called goitha. In West Bengal, it is called something XYZ. The cow dung cake. Now, cow dung cake in rural area, they are used for as fuel. But cow dung cake, it has massive demand in the urban area. Go to Amazon site. Amazon, you know better than me. Amazon, a set of 8 cow dung cakes of a small amount. It is available for 199 rupees. 199 rupees. And it has got massive demand from the urban people. So urban people, they demand these things for some religious purposes or expedient. Now in the old times, see, so nowadays one of the problems is not there. Producers are in the rural area, consumers are in the urban area. I hope you are getting the point. Producers are in the rural area and consumers are in the urban area, who are ready to pay good money for the products of rural area. So in the past, there may be some problem. There was some problem how to link these two people. Producers are from the rural area, consumers are from the urban area. So how to link these two people? So in the past, there was some problem, but nowadays it's a digital India. Digital India, pick up your phone, place the order, and yes, these agencies like Flipkart, like Amazon, so they are going to work as a linking pin. Yes, these are basically going to provide a platform where both the producers from the rural area and the consumers from the urban area, they can meet and they can exchange. It's a good thing. So India has changed, and that's why it's necessary for the government. Government is working very well to promote the concept of digital infrastructure. So this is the case. तो cow की बात करें, तो one cow, high quality cow, I have assumed that कि cow of highest quality can produce 20 liters. Maybe more, maybe less. I am totally confused. One student from some state told me, sir, it may be 60 liters. I don't believe. So you can suggest me those people particularly who have some idea. Here, your cooperation needed. 20 liters per day. So if we are able to promote animal husbandry, so definitely it is going to help the farmers. It is going to become additional source of income to the farmers, and moreover, for those people who can be called non-farmers. They are in the rural area, but they are not farmers. So for them also, it can become a regular source of income, so that they don't have to move to the urban area in search of job and getting exploited. So this is the thing. So what I say, agriculture, rural area doesn't mean only agriculture. Our rural area is full of potential. I repeat, full of potential. We have failed to work on that. So what are the measures taken? What can be the measures taken by the government? So 3 very powerful modules. First, we are discussing this. To create opportunity. So first is animal husbandry. I hope now you got the picture.